The 1989-1990 Falcon football squad started out the year very optimistic. The team was coming off a disappointing 2-7 record from last year and was looking to make major improvements, mentally and physically. The team lacked in numbers but had a lot of experience and were ready to play. The Falcons started their season facing some very tough opponents such as Lake Mills, St. Ansgar, and Riceville. This starting schedule proved to be the most difficult part of the Falcons season. With the Falcons going 0-4, injuries hampered the Falcons through the season, but their team never gave up. After this terrible start, the team geared up and came together to play North Springs. The Falcons were thirsty for a victory, and they had a chance to quench their thirst by drowning North Springs 25-6. In this game, the turning point of the season, the scoring was well balanced throughout the offensive unit. Scoring TDs for North Central were tailback Dave Neveracho, fullback Scott Benteen, and split end Tony Enertson, who scored 2 TDs, one of them being a 55-yard punt return. Former exchange student Jesper Ebsen also kicked an extra point in the game. The defense held strong throughout the game. The only North Springs score came late in the fourth quarter against the Falcons' JV defense. Senior Willie Veal Jr., linebacker, helped shut down the North Springs offense by getting 13 tackles. Other leading tacklers were corner Dave Neveracho and linebacker Chad Kimmich, getting 9 and 7 tackles respectively. The Falcons then dropped their next game to a surprising Nashua team. In this game, which was homecoming, was poorly played by the Falcons. The team missed opportunities and also didn't have the game on their mind as the Nashua team rolled to a 24-8 victory. The only Falcon points came in the fourth quarter on a 1-yard TD run by Dave Neveracho, and a safety came when the Nashua punter was forced out of the end zone. After another week of preparation, the mighty Falcons traveled to Rockwell. Rockwell was an easy pick to win over the Falcons, with the Falcons being 1-5 and Rockwell 5-1 and tied for first in the Corn Bowl Conference. The odds seemed staggering for a Falcon win. The odds must have stifled in the Falcons' side as the Falcons squeezed out a 28-26 victory over the Rebels. This may have been one of the most exciting games of the Falcons season. Rockwell swelled open the first points on the board and late in the first quarter with a TD and point after to make the score 7-0 in favor of the Rebels. As the first quarter drew to an end, the defense of the Falcons headstrong to turn down a possible TD for the Rebels. The Rebels missed a 23-yard field goal as the score remained unchanged 7-0. Then in the second quarter, the Falcons offense exploded for 13 points before the half ended. Junior Chad Kimmich, slotback, scored first for the Falcons with a 5-yard run. Jesper Ebsen's point after was good, tying things up at 7 apiece. Shortly after, NC regained the control of the ball and senior Scott Benteen scored a TD, making it 13-7 at the half. In the third quarter, the Falcons struck again as Dave Neveracho ran into the end zone on a 1-yard TD run. Dave also powered in a 2-point conversion to make the score 21-7. Things seemed to be going the Falcons' way when the Rebels rallied back in the fourth quarter. The Rebels set up two drives to score 2 TDs for 12 points, making things close at 21-19. As the thrilling game was drawing to a close, with only 41 seconds left to play and Rockwell driving, the North Central defense came through. Halfback Tony Enertson intercepted a Rebel pass and ran 45 yards for a TD. Ebsen's point after attempt was good, extending the lead to 9. Rockwell scored one more time to make things 28-26, but the game ended with the Falcons win in an important game. Again, the leading tackler was Willie Veal with 10. Helping out the defensive effort were Dave Neveracho, Dave Birchgood, Tony Enertson, and Soren Sutton. The Falcons closed the season with an impressive victory over Rockford Warriors. The game showed the best of the offense and the defense. Dave Neveracho, Scott Benteen, and quarterback Corey Haugen all scored touchdowns for North Central. Jesper Ebsen was perfect in connecting for 3 point-after attempts. Superior blocking by the offensive linemen opened game some big holes for the North Central running backs, helping an offensive effort. Defensively, as usual, Willie Veal racked up 12 tackles to edge Chad Kimmich and David Birchko, who had 10 tackles each. Soren Sutton also intercepted a Warrior pass. The play of both the defense and the offense, the Falcons won 21-8. The game concluded the Falcons season with the standing 3-5 overall. Despite losing their first 4 games, the Falcons showed an impressive performance, going 3-1 in the second half of the season. Juniors and seniors made an excellent example for sophomores and freshmen to follow by sharing determination throughout the season. Some players made outstanding performances in each achievements this season. Junior Chad Kimmich was the leading tackler for North Central with 65 tackles. Willie Veal was right behind him with 62. Dave Navratil was leading rusher with 483 yards. Dave also was the leading scorer with 38 points, 6 TDs, and 2 extra points. The leading pass receiver was Tony Enerson with 10 receptions for 192 yards, a 19.2 per catch average. He also received 1 pass for TD. Tony was also the leading punt returner with 127 yards. Soren Sutton had an excellent punting season as he kicked for 1,531 yards with a 38.4 punt yard average. Willie Veal had an excellent season kicking off for NC. He kicked for 728 yards and a 42.8 yard average. 3 NC players received all-conference recognition. Chris Kloster was named first team all-conference as an offensive lineman. Chris made the transition to tackle from his previous spot at tight end. Willie Veal was a first-team all-conference as a defensive linebacker. This was Willie's first and only year playing for NC. Also receiving recognition was Dave Navratil as fullback. All 3 were seniors. Other seniors that concluded their football careers at NC this season were Scott Bentine, Jason Squire, Dave Birchka, Jesper Ebsen, Corey Haugen, Matt McLaughlin, Doug Hamrick, Jason Hoff, and Soren Sutton. Overall, the season was fair and lots of underclassmen got needed experience for future years. This year's team captains were Dave Navratil and Doug Hamrick.